And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kids Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. And Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Welcome everyone to the Inland Sports Show. Before we start the show, make sure you like this video and you've subscribed to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. And if you're a local business or organization and you'd like to promote yourself on this show, just send us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. The show starts right now. Garcia's left-footed. And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition. I am your host, Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in. We got a big show coming your way a little bit later. A lot of high school baseballs. We get set to crown league champions and get ready for the CIF Southern Section playoffs. We're going to touch on the Citrus Belt League, the Big 8 League, the Sunkist League, amongst others. We also have an interview with River Valley League champion coach Tim Cleveno from the Arlington Lions. Later in the show as well, we're going to talk high school football with Chris Chaddock, the new head football coach at San Gorgonio, the former San G football player and coach as an assistant coach, leaving Indian Springs to go over to his alma mater, San G. And then in our final segment, we're going to hear from Dominique Daniels, the former San Bernardino Valley College basketball star, signing with CBU. But right now, we're going to lead things off with an exclusive interview with the CIF Southern Section Commissioner-elect Mike West, the current King High School principal. Will be taking over for Rob Wigod this summer, but we had a chance to have an exclusive one-on-one with Mike West to talk about the future and his plans as he takes office this summer. Here is our interview with Mike West. Inland Sports. Now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. He is the CIF Southern Section Commissioner-elect. He's also the King High School principal. It is Mr. Mike West joining us here on the show. And Mike, first off, I just want to say congratulations on the new position. I know King High will miss you dearly, but man, stepping in as the commissioner for the CIF Southern Section, what's just kind of your general thoughts stepping into the CIF office and leading the Southern Section?
Well, first and foremost, all hats tipped to Commissioner Rob Wigod. He's led the CIF Southern Section for so many years, as not only the commissioner for 11 or 12 years, but prior to that as an assistant commissioner. So he's set the bar very, very high as far as expectations and excellence is concerned. I'm really looking forward to coming in and learning about the position, as a high school principal and as an elected official to CIF. I know certain amounts, but Rob did a very good job of not letting us get into the weeds too much as far as the back office stuff and so on and so forth. So I'm looking forward to learning a lot from him and from the other assistant commissioners. And then, finding avenues that we can grow, we can move and do some different things. So looking forward to the opportunity vastly.
Mike, just looking at your background, your experience, how do you think that might help you in terms of this new role with the CIF Southern Section? Because obviously you're on the other side of the fence right now. You're from the school side. How do you think that experience, whether it's a principal or a trainer, might be applicable to this new role?
Well, Rob's actually the first commissioner, from my understanding, that wasn't a principal. Most all the other commissioners had been previous to him. So he kind of broke the mold, which was fantastic. So, and then my role as an athletic trainer, I was never a coach of any one sport in the high school setting, coach my kids and those types of things. But as an athletic trainer, you have a well-rounded understanding of all the sports that you work with. And so I'm going to hopefully bring that kind of knowledge, if you will, of just dealing with all the sports to bear in that fashion. And then as an administrator, as a high school administrator, we deal with things in a different way, with the parents and, the new things coming on in education these days. I've had a lot of different experiences as 13 years, 8 here at Martin Luther King High School. I was 2.5 at Hoopa Valley High School, and then in their alternative ed school out in the Hoopa district. And then, I've been 7 years as an athletic director at Chino Hills High School. I got to open up that school. So there's a lot of different experiences that I've had that will hopefully lend itself to making some good decisions and having some vision of what we can do next in the Southern section.
Mike, it looks like you've got a calendar in the background. I'm just curious what the next couple of months might look like for you, because I'm sure it's going to be pretty busy, and this kind of a crossover season for you in terms of, King High School and graduation coming up, and then also trying to get acclimated to your new role and trying to, learn as much and absorb as much as you can to step in this summer. So what will the next couple of months look like for you?
A lot of weekend work. I'm fully committed to finishing off this year at Martin Luther King High School to my fullest ability. We've got a lot of teachers to hire. I owe it to my staff and I owe it to my students to finish strong here. But at the same time, we're flying for and screening for the new assistant commissioner. And I was very blessed to be able to be hired at a time to actually have some input on that. And so I'm looking forward to those opportunities. And once we get into summer, I'm going to hopefully work with the state, go to some of the commissioner meetings and learn again from all the current sitting commissioners around the state to get, again, my feet wet. So I'm going to have to get in and do a little extra time, but I knew it coming in, and I'm looking forward to it.
Mike, obviously you're very familiar on the sports scene. I ran into you at a lot of the CIF championship games, the guy who gets to pass out the plaque, on official CIF business, I guess you could say, at some of those games, like football games and whatnot. What do you think you're looking forward to the most in this new role?
I'm looking forward to there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to, but probably the most is helping to organize, coordinate, and seed the championship events. The seeding piece is something that I haven't really been a part of that much. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how that all works, working with the assistant commissioners as far as setting up the championship events and doing the background stuff. I was the guy handing out the trophies and not doing much of the background legwork, So to actually get in and getting into the weeds, if you will, and then working with all the assistant commissioners and all the different sports is going to be just a fantastic opportunity. So, and the job now is I get to go out and be not just watch the sports on the sidelines, but actually be a part of that and the decision making and all that. And so couldn't ask for anything more as a part of my career right now.
Where do you think there might be some changes, some new things on the horizon for the CIF Southern section, and maybe just the CIF in general, because we just mentioned it off camera, but I'm excited for girls flag football, at least here in San Bernardino. I know they're playing some games, and they've added beach volleyball, which is going on right now. We're already in the playoffs. Without giving away all your secrets, I mean, is there stuff maybe in the future on the horizon that when you step in as commissioner that's kind of be in play for you to kind of push forward?
Well, it's hard to say of any other new sports. That oftentimes germinates from member schools, member districts, different sections. So we'll have to see. But I love the fact that we've added a couple more girls sports to give that opportunity for females. I think that's just an absolutely tremendous opportunity for all of our girls around. And I know that at our site, we're really looking forward to the flag football piece for sure. I'm looking for one of my thoughts coming into this kind of core values is just making sure of the student experience. I want to try to maximize the student experience as much as possible. Like with the coaching piece, that's with making sure we have the officials, enough officials first and then properly trained, but also the sports medicine piece, the medical care. I want to try to encourage all schools, if you're offering sports programs, to really investigate, if you haven't already, the hiring and the implementation of a full-time certified athletic trainer. Because if you don't have one, I don't know if you really understand the value. Those schools that have had them, the districts that have had them and had them for a long time, probably would tell you we couldn't do it without them. So finding avenues to continue to advertise and promote the medical piece along with that, along with the sportsmanship, and then the championship events. Try to maximize the every student experience. You know, I know that we've been doing championships at home sites and coming into the initial, early rounds. That's a must. But finding avenues where, just the average student, not the guy that's a D1 football player that's going to go play and so many things, but the average athlete, to try to make that championship experience as great as possibly can. I know we do a great job, but just continue to look at those things when it comes to venues, when it comes to the small wars, the little things, just to maximize that experience, because it really only happens once in your life.
Mike, something I want to circle back real quick. You just touched on it. The officials, referees, officials, and then also athletic trainers. Obviously, those are two big things, whether you're talking football or softball, whatever the sport. I mean, athletic trainers for the safety and well-being, obviously, the athletes, and officials. I mean, I don't know what the exact number is. You probably do, of the schools in the southern section, but all these schools and all these teams, and they're all going on at the same time. And I know officials are already spread thin. Is that kind of two things that's near the top of your priority list in terms of just making sure there is enough officials? And like you said, you know exactly how important athletic trainers are to make sure that these school sites have athletic trainers who are properly trained for the student athletes.
Yeah, well, starting with the officials, we've obviously had a shortage of officials for a number of years now, and it's really affected the scheduling. And right now, I know with baseball, it's just hard to reschedule after all the rains, because there just aren't enough people to be able to manage that. So we've started off well with recruiting more officials. We've got a nice influx of new officials now, but that needs to continue to grow. We've got to bring more young people into the game. If we can entice some recent graduates of high school that need a little extra money, that want to get back into their sport, if we can get more of those individuals that can really be a foundation for where we want to go, that's going to be key for us to getting back to, right now you can't have every game on Friday nights. It's impossible with the number of officials, and then we're taxing those football officials that need to help us out with flag football. So there's a lot of need right now, and so that is one of the premium avenues and the core needs that we do have right now. And obviously, when it comes to the sports medicine piece, I've got a lot of contacts in the California Athletic Trainers Association and nationwide. But if every high school decided right there today that we wanted to hire a full-time athletic trainer, there wouldn't be enough. So I want to try to work on both ends of the stick and speak to our association as far as, hey, the preparation of more qualified athletic trainers that want to go and work at a high school, and then providing avenues for schools to understand what the job descriptions are, what a good salary would be, so that when they hire somebody, they can actually keep them for a period of time, as opposed to a high rate of turnover because they want to go somewhere else that pays a little more. That
makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Mike, listen, I really appreciate the time. I know you got big shoes to fill with Rob Wigod, but if there was a guy out there that could do it, it's you. Congratulations on the new gig, and I look forward to seeing you. I don't know, maybe I will see you at a baseball or softball championship this spring, passing out the hardware to a CIF Southern Section champion.
I wouldn't doubt it. I'll probably be out there, and I really appreciate your support, Pep. It's been great to get to know you.
You got it. That is Mike West, CIF Southern Section Commissioner-elect, also King High School Principal here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. And a big thanks to Mike West for the interview. Really appreciate the time. And we're going to hopefully get Rob Wigod, the current commissioner, on the Inland Sports Show before his tenure is over this summer. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, a lot of high school baseball. We've got highlights and an interview with Arlington head coach Tim Cleveno. That's next here on the Inland Sports Show.
What up, y'all? Boostman here with a quick nutrition tip. Did you know in order to add 1 pound of lean muscle, you need to introduce at least 2,500 calories to your diet weekly? So, if you're looking to add some lean muscle, the best way to do this is to add 400 extra calories a day for men and 300 extra calories a day for women. And if you're looking to lose body fat, simply subtract those same amount of calories from your diet daily. Your boy, Boostman.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
The In-N-Out Burger Cover-to-Cover Reading Club is available at the San Bernardino Public Library. In-N-Out has sponsored this program for children ages 4 to 12. To participate, children must read 5 books, bring in their reading log, their book receipt, and then they can receive a prize for a free hamburger or cheeseburger from In-N-Out. Each child can do this up to 3 times. This program will run from March 4th through April 15th, and only books checked out from the San Bernardino Public Library and read during this time period can count toward the program. For more information, please contact the library at 909-381-8201. Thank you.
Thomas delivers a deep fly to left field. And that one's off the wall. 2 runs will cross the plate for Cajon. Oh, and it will be a home run. A grand slam for Ty Thomas. Kind of anticlimactic because it was delayed. But they're going to say it was a grand slam for Ty Thomas. That where it hit off the fence, it was deemed a home run, and the bases were full. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. That was Ty Thomas from Cajon with a grand slam at the County Clash at San Manuel Stadium against Beaumont. That was an 11-6 win for the Cowboys. So right now in the Citrus Belt League, Yucaipa is your CBL champions again, but Cajon, Redlands East Valley, Citrus Valley, all in a battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place, which is a playoff spot, really. Today, on Tuesday, Cajon taking on Redlands East Valley. The Cowboys would win this one by a final score of 2-0. So here's what it means going into the final game of the regular season between the Cowboys and the Wildcats. If Cajon wins, Cajon and Rev, record-wise, would be tied for 2nd place in the CBL. If Rev wins, Cajon could ultimately be tied with Citrus Valley for 3rd place in the CBL if the Blackhawks beat Redlands High School in their season finale. So still a lot at stake as we go into the final game of the regular season in the CBL. So it's going to be a lot of fun coming up on Thursday. Now in the land of the Big 8, man, it is getting even wilder. King taking on Santiago, and the Sharks, believe it or not, are still in the mix for a Big 8 League championship. Centennial has beaten Corona twice this week. They will go for the series sweep, and if that happens, Santiago could be co-Big 8 League champions with Corona. Santiago taking the first 2 games of their series against King, including this victory here 6-1 on Monday evening. We had a chance to talk to head coach Ty de Trinidad about his club and staying in the mix for not only a playoff spot, but who knows, maybe a Big 8 League title as well. In sports.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, we don't want to pay attention to the scoreboard. You can't help but to look. But at the end of the day, we still control our own destiny, so we have to take care of business. I think we're starting to click in that direction. I think we're almost there. We got a couple guys that are just starting to come out of slumps, and if we can get that dialed in, I think we're going to be in a good spot. Well, like anything, we consider ourselves a baseball school, an athletic school, but baseball-wise, we've always held ourselves to a different standard. And you know what? It just continues to show that what we do out here and in this competitive league, that we're going to compete and get a chance to go to postseason. Oh, outstanding job. I mean, Michael did exactly what he does, is come in, throw strikes, keep us in the ball game, and he gave us a chance today, and we scored some runs for him. So great effort. I think the fact that our guys didn't give away so many at-bats, I mean, with runners in scoring position, they were able to come through and clutch up and get some hits when we needed. Little lackadaisical on the bases at times, but overall the guys did a good job with 2 strikes, putting the ball in play and making them field it.
And in the Sunkiss League, it comes down to this. Kaiser taking on Summit twice this week, including today. That's on Wednesday, and then again on Friday. And the Skyhawks and the Cats battling for the league title. Summit is red hot. In fact, they have won 15 games in a row, including a 6-4 win against JW North at the County Clash at San Manuel Stadium this past Saturday. But it's all on the line now as the Skyhawks will take on Kaiser. It's our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game this week. As we mentioned, winner take all for the Sunkiss League title between these two rivals, Kaiser and Summit. The Skyhawks have won 15 in a row, but none would be bigger than their 2 games this week head-to-head against Kaiser. So if you're watching us on Wednesday night, they are probably wrapping up the first of 2 games against one another to determine the Sunkiss League champion. So that's our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game, or we should maybe say must-see games, because again, Kaiser and Summit playing twice this week to determine the league championship. Well, one league championship that has already been decided, no doubt about this one. In the River Valley League, it is the Arlington Lions. River Valley League champions now getting set for the CIF Southern Section Division I playoffs. We had a chance to talk to head coach Tim Cleveno about the squad this year, and he feels like they're not even playing their best baseball yet. If they peak at the right time, who knows? D1 is tough, but you can never count out the Arlington Lions. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition. He is the skipper for the Arlington Lions, and he is a champion fresh off that River Valley League title. It is Tim Cleveno. And Coach, first off, congrats on the RVL championship. I would assume, though, when you play baseball at Arlington, the goal is to hang banners or the patches in your case behind you to have the championships and the league titles or whatnot to show for it. How rewarding was it to get that league title with, I'm assuming, bigger goals still on the horizon this season?
Yeah, it's very gratifying. I mean, especially with the group of boys that we got. I've known them since they're a young age, and I think early on they set the goal early in the season to their first goal is to be a league champion, get to 20 victories.
And, when you set goals like that and you put in the work, obviously it must be a rewarding feeling, right? Just general, like, hey, guys, all the practices you came, when you showed up early, you stayed late, all these, off-season training, it makes it worthwhile, right? When you can win the River Valley League, when you can punch your ticket to the playoffs, when you can make a deep playoff run like you guys did a couple seasons ago. I mean, does it feel rewarding when you know the guys are putting in the work?
Absolutely. I mean, from the first day we get to school, we start practice, whether that's conditioning, throwing program. Our 6-period baseball program runs year-round, so they don't get too many days off. So anytime you can throw a banner up on the outfield fencing or another league championship patch, it's very satisfying for sure.
And Coach, behind you, it's kind of hard to see because of the lighting, but there is a bunch of those patches, and you were telling me off camera that it's a lot of the championships or the patches that from years past, right?
Yeah, so Coach Rungo started that whole thing, and then we've just been adding to it. And so anytime we win a league title or we make the playoffs or we win a tournament, something like that, we throw a patch in the case. And so it's nice to do that. And I think the kids take pride in it, and they walk by the office when they come in, they see it. And I think that they know they're part of something.
Coach, you win the River Valley League title, but as you look ahead to the CIF Southern Section playoffs, and we'll see the brackets in less than a week now, what's your expectations for this team? Do you feel like you guys are playing good baseball right now? Because obviously sometimes the team with the most talent doesn't win. It's a team that's like the hottest and playing, peaking at the right time going into the playoffs. I know it kind of sounds cliche-ish, but I mean, it's true, especially for baseball. How do you feel about your club right now?
Well, I think we still have some more improvement to go. As crazy as that sounds, and we're that late in the game, I don't think we've hit stride. And the past speaks for itself. I mean, last year we go in as the number 1 seed and we get the bye in the first round. In the second round, we play Torrance, and we lose in the second round. And then in 2021, we finished 3rd place in the River Valley League and go on and end up playing a total of 8 playoff games with the new state regional thing. So it is about getting hot at the right time and having a feel for your thing. And you know what? It takes a little bit of luck along the way too.
Do you Do you keep track of the CIF Southern Section rankings that come out on a weekly basis? Or, like you mentioned, if you're the number 1 seed, maybe it doesn't matter that much. If you're a third-place team out of your league and you get seeded real low, maybe that doesn't matter much either when you get to the playoffs.
Yeah, we do and we don't. I think the coaches watch it more than kids do, just to kind of see where we're at. But I've learned just Division I, I don't care where you're at. That game is going to be a dogfight. It doesn't matter who we get in the first round or who we draw. It's going to be a battle. And so I don't really know if you sit there and you go, there's 37 Division I teams, the top 10. Gosh dang, how do you sit there and rank those 10 teams? I mean, if you get any one of those, it's going to be a dogfight. You just hope that you're at home, I guess.
Yeah. And the way with the coin flips, I've covered high school sports up and down California, and it's usually, the higher seeded teams, they're rewarded with home games throughout the playoffs. But here with the coin flips, I mean, who knows? You might start out at home and play 2 or 3 road games in a row if you make a deep run.
100%. I mean, the year 2021, we played 1 home game. We're on the road the entire time to the finals. So, yeah, definitely the coin flip not into your favor. It would be nice if you beat a 1 seed, you took their seed away from you as you went on, but it is what it is, and that's how it's laid out, and that's why it's so difficult in the Southern section.
So 2021, which is that spring, it was spring season, but it was kind of pushed back because of COVID. So I think we played till the end of June or middle of June. Correct. Or something like that. Yeah. Do you have any of those guys still on this year's team besides? I know your son Jack, but anybody else on that team that's still around?
Yeah, there's several. We have several seniors: Luke Rogers, Andrew Rudd, Jacob Weibel, Jack, Trey Minesey. There's quite a few, and maybe I'm forgetting some, but they've been there. They're playoff tested, so that's good. That plays into our hand, and so we like that. But yeah, it leaves those seniors pretty hungry because they've been there before and got knocked out early last year.
And that championship game in 2021 against Long Beach Millikan. Was it like 2-1 or 3-1? It was a low-scoring game, wasn't it? From what I remember,
it was 2-0, and we got runners in scoring position in several innings. Just couldn't get that big hit, and then a couple of timely hits by Millikan, and man, did they play good defense that day? They played really good D, and that was the difference of the ball game was their defense.
Well, Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the big signing day at Arlington High School. I know it's for a variety of sports, including baseball. And we saw Knife, we saw Jack sign with University of Utah, the Utes. How proud are you, and what a special moment for the family to see him sign a Division I baseball scholarship?
Yeah, it's been awesome. And to tell you the truth, I really haven't had a real opportunity to sit back and kind of take it in, as you wear 2 hats all the time. So you are coach, so at some point, maybe at the end of the season, I'll reflect on a little bit more. But when I have the time alone with my wife, we kind of sit and talk at night when we have some coffee, and we kind of talk about it at times. But it kind of really hasn't sunk in yet. Maybe when it's all said and done and it's over, it will, and when I can allow myself to actually be more dad than more coach.
Maybe when it's time to not sit down and write a big tuition check, you'll be like, yeah, that was pretty cool when he signed with Utah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Coach, finally, what do you think you said you feel like you can still play your best baseball still, like you haven't peaked yet. So what do you feel like this team can maybe do better as you go get ready for the playoffs?
Pitching and defense has been the name of our game for the last 2-3 seasons. So hopefully that stays. As long as that stays consistent, I know we'll be in baseball games. However, I would like to see us do a little bit better offensively. We don't put up big runs. We seem to put just enough up. It would be nice if we go out and we kind of be a little bit more productive on the offensive end of things. So I think if we got that going with pitching and defense, it would make things a little easier. But then again, when you're playing the Division I school, it's going to come down to pitching defense. And if we can score one more run than the other guys, and whether that's our small ball style of play, it is what it is. But so many good teams, so many good coaches, it could go either way.
Okay, Coach, one more follow-up question to that. Division I, obviously, there's so many great teams, and as a league champion, you will have a first-round home game. But even a first-round home game, if you get a third-place team out of one of these really great leagues or a second-place team, even those first-round games are going to feel like a CIF semifinal or a championship game. Just the amount of talent, how good these programs are. But do you embrace the challenge? I mean, was it the goal to be a Division I program? I know D3 is very good and D2 is nice, but man, being a Division I program and competing at that level, was that kind of the goal where you wanted to see the Arlington program at?
I never really sat back and thought about a division. When I took over for Coach Rungo, and after playing baseball myself here, to me, Arlington's always been a baseball school, a baseball place. And my goal as a head coach and surrounding myself with good coaches was to bring Arlington's name back. That's all we set out to do. Bring Arlington's name back and make something to be proud of. And I think that was the goal. And if we accomplished that, great. If we landed in Division I, okay, so be it. Obviously, it's very nice to be here by all means, because you're going to play good teams and it's good baseball. It's high-level baseball. And if you don't want that, you probably shouldn't be doing it. But did we set out to be Division I? No. I think we set out to kind of make Arlington better.
And that's a great answer. Yeah, you just want to go out there and be good and be great. And like you said, put the Lions baseball program back on the map, and the CIF will take care of the rest. They just said, okay, yeah, you guys are good enough to be D1, and there you are. So,
yeah.
Well, Coach, listen, I really appreciate the time. Congrats on the River Valley League title, but I know you guys have big goals. Again, when you played Arlington, that expectation is big with that baseball brand with the Lions. So, Coach, congrats. I really do appreciate the time. Congratulations to your family with Jack signing with the University of Utah. I know that's very, very special. And best of luck in the CIF playoff run.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
You got it. That's Tim Cleveno, the skipper for the Arlington Lions, here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. And that was Arlington head coach Tim Cleveno here on the Inland Sports Show. Best of luck to the Lions in the CIF Southern Section playoffs. When we come back here on this edition of the Inland Sports Show, we're going to talk a little high school football. We always talk a lot of football on this show when we come back. He's going home. It is San Gorgonio head coach Chris Chaddock, the San G alum, taking over the Spartans football program. We got an exclusive interview with Coach when we come back on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. And Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Boostman here with a quick 2 cent. Athletes, if you have a coach who tells you things that you don't want to hear, makes you feel like they don't care, even though they keep engaging you, doesn't take your excuses, holds you accountable for your actions, challenges you to do more, and doesn't gas you up to make you feel special, then you have a coach who genuinely cares about you and has high expectations. Growth isn't always pretty, and good coaching won't always make you feel good, but it's important to know what it looks like so you'll know who's always looking out for you. Boostman.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down and see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
The City of San Bernardino has implemented a new low-cost sidewalk vending program in hopes of expanding opportunity for community members to start sidewalk vending safely and lawfully. We want everyone to have access to the economic benefits that sidewalk vending brings, but we want to make sure that our sidewalk vendors know the do's and don'ts when it comes to our city. We must make sure that vendors are keeping our residents safe by following general health and safety standards and by following all city rules. Like, did you know to legally sidewalk vend in the city of San Bernardino, you'll need a seller's permit? What about the $1 million general liability insurance that you are required to have? Don't let this scare you. When all is said and done, the cost of the annual permit will either be $64 or $154. We want to help in every way we can when it comes to vendors lawfully running and growing their small businesses. But those who operate without the proper permits can and will be cited. Citations can run anywhere from 100 to a misdemeanor, and repeated violations can result in the confiscation of items needed to sidewalk vend. We do not want this to be you. So, if you have any questions or concerns regarding the new sidewalk vending program, please call us at 909-384-5035, where staff will help you navigate your way to becoming a safe and permitted vendor in our city.
And for the Clippers, for them to advance, they needed Kawhi Leonard to put on the Superman cape and do something very heroic in this playoff series. Not saying he can't do it, but they've got to beat Phoenix in three in a row to get by. Dude, from out of nowhere, from off the top rope, man, Max Muncy leading Major League Baseball with 11 home runs. I think Outman's got like 7, which is still really good. But right. Max Muncy with 11 home runs, and we wondered where was this offense going to come from with all the big names leaving this offseason. It's Max Muncy. He's back, guys.
The kids would say he's mashing.
He's mashing.
You know what I mean? He is mashing.
11 home runs to lead the way. And I do want to give a shout out to Patrick Wisdom of the Cubs. He hit a home run against the Dodgers in this series. He's got 9 home runs on the season, which ranks 3rd in baseball. And he's the pride of Murrieta Valley High School. He's an IE guy, and he's getting his chance to start for the Cubs and making the most of it right now. Inland Sports. Hanging out with my guy, Patrick, in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. Check it out. All right, this segment of the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition, talking some high school football. There's been a lot of coaching moves this offseason, and here's another one. Former head coach at Indian Springs, Chris Chaddock, is headed over to San Gorgonio. He's a San Gorgonio graduate. He was an assistant coach at San G, and now he's going back after a great 4 seasons with the Coyotes. In fact, he led them to a Mountain Valley League title in that shortened COVID season. Then he helped them reach the CIF Southern Section Division 14 semifinals. He went 18-17 overall in his 4 years with Indian Springs. But now, as he put it, he's headed home. He's going back to San G, taking over for head coach Rich McClure. And Coach Chaddock was part of that 2016 San Gorgonio team that won a CIF Southern Section championship. They won one in 2016. Ron Geringer was the head coach. Chris Chaddock was on his coaching staff. And then they won another one in 2018 with Rich McClure. We had a chance to have an exclusive interview with Coach Chris Chaddock about taking over at San Gorgonio and why this was his dream job all along. Here's head coach Chris Chaddock. Inland Sports. Now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. He's going home. The new head football coach at San Gorgonio. He's a Spartans alum. It is Chris Chaddock joining us here on the show. And Coach, first off, congratulations on the San G gig. I know you're a San G graduate. So how special is this going back home for you?
It's amazing. It's the best feeling in the world. To go to a place where I graduated from, played. I still know the teachers. The athletic director, Coach Beta, was my physics teacher in high school when he was actually teaching physics and A&E teacher. A lot of people I went to school with are teachers there now. I have friends that are counselors. I mean, it feels like a homecoming. It feels like going back into your own neighborhood because everybody knows your name, kind of like Cheers. It's a great place to be.
Well, listen, I know you were happy at Indian Springs. You had the program going in the right direction. John Chamberlain, the athletic director, is one of the best guys in the entire IE. But I feel like there's certain jobs out there that you just can't help yourself but be interested in. And of course, having gone to San G, you graduated from San Gorgonio, and you were an assistant coach there when they won a CIF title in 2016. So obviously, you probably weren't, I would assume, not on the hunt trying to leave Indian Springs. But if a job like San G opens, how do you not, show your interest? Was it one of those situations where, you were at Indian Springs, you were doing good things at Indian Springs, you were happy, but if there was that one job out there that opened up, it was San G that you might be interested in?
Well, first and foremost, before anything, I just want to thank the administration, the staff, and the students at Indian Springs. The kids were wonderful. It's because of the buy-in that I had the opportunity to go back home. I'd like to thank John Chamberlain for taking a gamble on me when I might not have been the popular choice. But you know what? The gamble paid off. We've had 3 winning seasons in a row when they had never had a winning season, league title, semifinals appearance, sent 9 kids to colleges. And we've done everything we could do here. And that was because Chamberlain took that risk. But yeah, going back to your original question, I had actually an opportunity to leave last year and I didn't because it just wasn't the right fit. And I love Indian Springs. It was a great spot. But when I found my alma mater was opening and, some calls were made and some, things transpired, I had to take a look at it. It's special to have the chance to go back home. I love San Bernardino through and through, but it's a little more because, I bleed the black and blue through and through because I know the history. I remember 1989, watching the CIF championship game, the first one in San G history at the Angel Stadium with Ron Rivers and Chris Hayes. And, I love Pito. Pito was actually my neighbor growing up. Chris Hayes, who had a stint with the Jets and the Packers and won a Super Bowl with them. I wanted to be a Spartan ever since I could, was old enough to remember sports. So, the nostalgia, the wanting to do it for my friend, I put it up on social media recently and, I've had so many people just message, how can we help? What can we do? What can we do to support? Like the fan base, the alumni, they're really excited about it. They're as excited about it as I am. And, Indian Springs, the oldest graduate is like 23 years old. The school's really new. There's a legacy that is being built, that was being built, but it's the history, you can feel it when you walk down those halls. It's just a different animal, the tradition.
So, Coach, you were at San G on the coaching staff when you guys won a CIF Southern Section title in 2016. Then a couple of years later with Rich McClure, they won another title in 2018, went all the way to a state finals. So it wasn't that long ago that San G was one of the prominent programs in the Inland Empire, in the Southern Section. I know they were 2-8 last year. What do you think it's going to take to kind of reverse course and get this program back in the direction? So it was the program. What was it? 2008, 5 years ago they won a CIF title. So it wasn't that long ago. How do you get back to that place?
Well, the first thing you do is, you remind them of the tradition. You remind them of the history. You remind them of what the standard is. And I want to thank Ron Geringer for hiring me on his staff, his initial staff. I have nothing but love for Ron. Ron is like a father figure to me. I love Coach G. That's my dude. He's one of the guys that challenged me to go out and get better so that I could become a head coach. So, I have a great debt of gratitude to Coach D. So, it's just going to start with connecting with the kids. I have a saying, a lot of correction and connection. We say, family, forget about me, I love you. Like, they're going to know our tenets. They're going to know, to communicate, to take action, to be respectful, to bleed excellence. They're going to know this. They're going to know that, the standard is the standard. Like, it may sound crazy and it may sound cliche, like bringing out all the, but you know what? If you live by your credo, you live by your standard, that's where it starts. And you take it everywhere with you, in the classroom, in the community, with your parents, you know, when you get older, with your kids and your wife. It's a lifestyle that they got to learn that this is a lifestyle, and they will. It's I think we're going to turn this thing around really quickly. We had a meeting with the kids yesterday, and they were so pumped up and just ready to get started. The cupboard is not bare there. There is talent. There's great facilities there, and an A1 athletic director and Matt Maida. And all it takes is just a little fine tuning. It's not like we've got to like gut everything and it's hopeless and it's this revamp. No, there's a lot of positives there. It's just a little tinkering, just changing a couple small things here and there, and paying attention to the little details, the little minutia, and connecting those relationships, building those relationships with the kids. Because once you build those relationships, you can know all the X's and the O's in the world. I mean, you could be, the greatest guy in the world. I mean, the greatest tactician in the world. But if, you can't garner the respect of the players, it doesn't matter. You can have, all the Johnny's knows. You can have all the X's and O's. But you know what? They have to know you care. And if you show that you care, and that's what I'm there for, and that's what my coaching staff is. And that's the great thing. 7 of the 9 coaches are coming with me, including the incredible Gary Headland. I've got Andy Martinez, who's on the staff now. We've got Cordell, our line coach, Cordell Brewster, who's just the man. We've got, new young wide receiver coach, Lamario. That's Lamario Howard. He's going to be outstanding. Played at Azusa Pacific. Coach Kenny Lawler, who was the DC at Breaking News, who was the DC over at San Bernardino Valley College, is coming on as a defensive consultant. So it's going to be a 3-headed monster with Coach Martinez, myself, and we're bringing back Coach Carter from the fold that coached with me at Valley. We're bringing back, Day Williams is coming back. Montre Moore is coming back, who was just an All-American.
San G guys.
So we've got a good mix of alumni that are hungry, along with some like veteran voices. And like I said, Coach Headland is like the yin to my yang. So, I mean, these kids are going to get coached. I'd put this staff against any staff in Southern California. These kids are going to get great coaching. And they're going to get great men who will love them, who will show them how to love, show them how to care, show them how to be tenacious, and show them what it is to be a Spartan.
So obviously, you care about your players and your coaching staff well beyond just the football field. It's very meaningful to you. But Coach, I did want to ask you, what do you think the next couple of months are going to look like for you? Because here we are. We're almost into the month of May. You still got a little bit of time, but not in a complete off season to get ready for your first game of the year. So, is it going to be a lot of weight room? You're going to dabble in the 7-on-7 a little bit. I mean, what do you think the next couple of months are going to look like for you?
Well, the first thing we got to do is we just got to get to know the kids. We have to get to understand and know our personnel. I'm not going to put a square peg in a round hole and say I'm going to run this defense and run this offense. We just have to evaluate what they look like on the field, see what our strengths and weaknesses are in the next couple of weeks. We're going to get spring ball started in the beginning of May. So we're going to hit the ground running. Actually, next week, we're going to have a meet the coaches night at the Bakers up the street. Shout out to Bakers, because they're actually going to be supporting us and like feed our kids dinner. And we're going to, get to know some of the kids' goals and aspirations, and then we're going to, lay out the plan. I have a plan to meet every single staff member at the school, because this is going to take a community. It's not just about the X's and O's, but yeah, we're gonna like get the community and embrace them. That's where it starts. Meeting our personnel, knowing our kids, learning where they fit, learning who the speed guys are, who the possession guys are, who the tough guys are, who the cerebral guys are, who are the tweeners, who are the guys that need a little extra push, who are the guys that can probably help us that just haven't had the guidance. Maybe we lift them up a little, because there's some situations, especially in the city of San Bernardino, where you all know these kids need football more than football needs them. And we're here to create a place where they feel equity, they feel love, they feel that sense of family. Forget about me, I love you. We talk about that all the time. And, being in the city, I know I'm not going to save everybody, but I'm damn sure going to serve everybody. And if we serve enough people, we're going to change some lives.
Well, Coach, I just wanted to say congratulations. In fact, I had to dust this thing off so I can match you tonight.
We got twin hats. I like it. I like it.
I'm gonna have to start wearing this thing around town again.
When you get to G, we'll take care of you and get you some cool spirit gear, some more new hats. We got you, Pat.
I really like this one, man. I love the baby blue. I love the logo, man. Like I'm fine just rocking this one for a while. But hey, if you want to kick down some gear, as the kids say, some drip, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, some drip. Hey, that's one of the things I told the kids in the meeting. Hey, we're bringing swag G back. We gotta get that swagger back, and that's what we're gonna do. We're this G mob for life. We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring that sweet swag back. We're gonna be different. Just trust us. It's gonna be a great thing to watch.
Well, he is the new head football coach at the G. San Gorgonio. Chris Chaddock going back home, the former Spartan going back to be the new head coach. Coach Chaddock, really appreciate the time. Congratulations. And I'm sure I'll see you on a practice field or a 7-on-7 or something. Actually, take it back. I'm going to see you on Friday at some girls flag football first, but I will see you at San G doing San G stuff very, very soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Inland Sports. Nothing but the best for Coach Chaddock at San Gorgonio and at Indian Springs for his replacement. It sounds like they've got someone in mind, so we'll keep tabs on Indian Springs as well. All right, we'll take one more commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition. When we come back, we'll hear from Dominique Daniels, the SBVC basketball star headed to CBU. We'll be right back. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. And Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Boostman here, breaking you with a quick 2 cent. Coachable athletes will always be the best athletes. They meet their coach's expectations, they can be pushed harder, take constructive criticism, and don't mind having more responsibility placed on their shoulders. Because of this, they see more playing time, have leadership roles on their team, and have coaches who will rave and rant about them. Being coachable doesn't require talent, but it is a skill. You can be a talented athlete on your team, but if you're not coachable, you'll never be the best athlete. Boostman.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
The In-N-Out Burger Cover-to-Cover Reading Club is available at the San Bernardino Public Library. In-N-Out has sponsored this program for children ages 4 to 12. To participate, children must read 5 books, bring in their reading log, their book receipt, and then they can receive a prize for a free hamburger or cheeseburger from In-N-Out. Each child can do this up to 3 times. This program will run from March 4th through April 15th, and only books checked out from the San Bernardino Public Library and read during this time period can count toward the program. For more information, please contact the library at 909-381-8201. Thank you.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show at Home edition. Before we wrap things up, there was some big basketball news locally with Dominique Daniels, the big-time scorer for San Bernardino Valley College, signing with California Baptist University. Dominique talking about joining the Lancers, playing in front of that great home crowd at the CBU Event Center, and hopefully leading the Lancers to their first trip to the NCAA tournament. I assume you've had the chance to go down to the event center at California Baptist and see a home game because, man, people love Lancer basketball. That place gets packed. It gets loud. Are you excited to play your games there?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I honestly can't wait. Like, I've been working out recently a lot these past few weeks, just trying to get ready and get back into that mode. So I'm definitely excited to play in front of the Lancer Nation.
You know, going into the program, are you excited about that opportunity to maybe lead that Lancers team to their first ever NCAA, appearance? I mean, that would be huge news here in the Inland Empire to see a Lancers team do that.
Yes, I'm definitely excited about that. I've wanted to play in that tournament forever. Like, that's like a dream of mine to play in that tournament. Not only play in it, but have an opportunity to win it. So that's what I've been thinking about the most, honestly, that tournament. So, yeah.
You can look for the complete interview with Dominique Daniels on the next episode of Sports Weekly on IEMG. And finally, let's take a look at our Big Boost Play of the Week. Inland Sports. Let's hit the golf links at Bear Creek, Murrieta Valley, and Great Oak going head-to-head in Southwestern League competition. This is the 9th, and check out Jaden Alden. Rolls in this long eagle putt, and he'll find nothing but the bottom of the cup. Jaden Alden and the Nighthawks win by 1 stroke against Great Oak to put them in a position to win the outright league championship this week. But what a huge eagle putt from Jaden here for the Nighthawks, and that's our Big Boost Play of the Week. What a great putt there at the Southwestern League duel there with Great Oak. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Inland Sports Show. We really appreciate you tuning in. At Home edition, we will be back in the Teen Vision TV 16 studio early as next week. We got a big show as we'll get ready for the CIF Southern Section baseball and softball playoffs. My name is Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.